I'm right here with Nona. Let them know where we at right now.
We in Del Paso Heights, California, Sacramento. This the house I grew up in right here. This the street I grew up on.
And when people think of Del Paso Heights, what's Del Paso known for?
I ain't gonna lie, it's known for a lot of different things. Just to be real, it's ghetto, it's out here. To me, I would say the deepest part of hell, keep it real, because when I grew up out here, it was treacherous. When I got locked up like 2017, 2016. That was the era where it was really, before that, it was really going on. It was really popping off. It was really like, it was deep. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was only 13, 12 years old, 10 years old, 9 years old. I was stepping on, I was all through any sucker side you could think of, any territory. I was this big through there. I was yay high, small. My uncle could tell you, my brothers behind you could tell you, it was different back then. Everybody was a different breed. Now it's just hella younger that don't care no more. It's not the same no more. It's just watered down. It's trash now. They not on what we was on back then. My generation, the people I grew up around, really raised me a dog. Like, I'm really a beast. I really think of it differently. But now it's really on the bigger and better things, really. I'm not gonna lie, get this college degree, get this money, get your bag up, because at the end of the day, all this little streets ain't gonna get you nowhere.
What was your at-home life like growing up in the Heights?
If I'm not gonna lie, my mom, she got 6 kids. I'm the middle child, so it was kind of hard to focus on me, so it was hella easy for me to come outside and be around negative influences and be around all that negativity, and I seen it my whole life growing up. So my at-home life, to be honest, it was just hella like, I wasn't really paid attention to, so my mom didn't really notice me and notice what I was doing, because she had too much going on to really see what was going on, what her son was doing. So she really didn't know what I was doing until it was too late. And by the time she noticed, it was already my mindset. Like, it was nothing that could change it. It was nothing that could make it up, nothing. It was just how it was. I was ready. My brothers had died behind this. My cousin had died. My brother was locked up for murder. It was just too much going on for me to really process at that age. So I just went with the flow and rocked with the people that was out here. And some of them showed me the right things, and some of them showed me the wrong things. A lot of them showed me the wrong things. A lot of them put guns in my hands and showed me how to go and do shit. It's not really like that no more.
What made you adapt to the street life at such a young age?
I just had always been out here. It was just so easy just my whole family grew up in it. I grew up around Bloods and Norteno, so my whole life, that's all I had seen, that's all I had knowledge of. I never knew there was nothing past the streets. I really just seen what everyone was doing and seen my family doing it. My family taught me, and it just was what it was. It was that easy.
For the people who don't know, what's your real name?
My real name is Norteno Xavier Maestrich. That's my birth name. That's what a lot of people don't know about me. A lot of people don't know that for the beginning of my life, I grew up around Norteno, and then for the second half around my life, I grew up around Bloods. It was both for me. I grew up around everything my whole life. It's a little different out here.
Let me get a shot. What's up, baby?
It's just, let me look. This how we hooping. Like, we ain't really have a lot. This is how we really, this all we really seen growing up. It was just as simple as this.
What you want to get on some out here? I'll do you weird out here. Come on, let me get one more thing. Let me see, because what you trying to do? What do you want to do?
So I got a question for y'all. What's it like for y'all growing up out here?
That's that music fun.
Yeah, how's it is for you growing up out here?
It's cool. You know, there's a lot of shit that be going on around here, but it's cool.
What about your influences, positive and negative influences? You think it's positive?
Yes, some, not all though.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a lot of my dead homies that done died behind this. I got my brother tatted on me. I only got one tattoo. It just means a lot to me. Growing up in this area, I grew up. A lot of my dead homies was dying. It's my brother Gotti, so I say Gotti land because I keep it Gotti land for my brother.
And how big is the Heights?
Oh, the Heights are near lightweight big. Just to be so honest, it's a big circle. I ain't gonna lie. It's like probably like, to be honest, like probably like, it's lightweight its own city, to keep it real. It's a small little, it's like a town, to be honest. It's probably like 30 to 40 miles, I would say. I don't know. I could only guess. It's big though. Hey, you hear me? I'm finna go to the hood store.
All right, hold on. Let me get all over you.
Yeah.
We gonna meet you down there or something.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments might ask, what race are you?
I'm half white. I'm half Mexican. So I look like I'm full white, but I'm really half Mexican.
Growing up, did you grow up around all blacks and Mexicans?
All blacks and Mexicans my whole life. I never really got to see any. I grew up in a black community, to be so honest. I grew up around bloods. Anything after 9 years old, I was around nothing but bloods. Before that, all my cousins that were Nortes and stuff, they had got locked up for murder, so I didn't really have their guidance a lot growing up, so I didn't really get to meet a lot of them. A lot of them were locked up for murders, a lot of them were locked up for attempts, so it's like my family, a lot of my families, like, they're notorious for that. We're known for getting locked up for murders. We're known for getting locked up for attempts. Like, it was just something. My big brother got locked up for a murder. My dad had beat an attempted murder case. That was just what we were notorious for, my family. So mostly after 9 all the way up till I had got locked up for my murder, I grew up around bloods, just to be honest.
Right now, how dangerous is it right here in the Heights?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, it's a couple of little beefs going on. But to be honest, I really don't pay too much mind to it because I've been trying to support some positive shit lately and really push this education and try to show our youth that it's other ways around this. There's other ways to get out of this. Like, you're not trapped. There's other options in this. But it's beefs that go on. There's people that die. It's been murders that have been going on. I don't really pay too much mind to it though because it's just too much negativity and I can't really feed into all that.
When it comes to the Heights, what's the meaning of the twos?
You throw your twos up. I'm gonna keep it real. It's just like, to me, I really never really put a meaning to it. I never really tried to put too much thought into it. Never really cared that much, to be so honest. It just was where I was from. I really got into this gangbanging when I was younger because my cousin Harley had died in the Manors. I was like 9 years old. My cousin Harley had died in the Manors. They shot him in his head. And after that, it was just like I wanted revenge. I felt like, you feel me? It hurt me deep inside as a kid. I kept losing all my loved ones back to back to back to back. And that one just threw me over the edge, my cousin Harley dying. So after that, it was just like, okay.
You said you grew up with Norteños and Bloods.
Yeah.
Do both of them get along over here?
Yeah, nah, we for sure all get along over here. Everyone in the hood love each other. It's like that out here. I'm gonna keep it real. It's a little different out here in Sacramento. There's so much going on right now in the politics. I really couldn't even explain it all due to me being locked up for them 7 years and not trying to really, I never really tried to pay too much attention to it, to be honest. I never really tuned too much into it because as I got older and I did my jail time, everybody that I called my brother, everyone that said they was my loved ones, in all honesty, they abandoned me in jail. So it's like, getting out here, I really been trying to figure this out on my own because I learned that as a man, nobody else is gonna do nothing for you. Nobody else is gonna come and hand you money. Nobody else is gonna help you out here. You gonna face your struggles alone. So that's when the meaning of life really hit me. It's like, you realize what this really means when you hit jail. You realize who really there for you when you hit jail. Me, I did 7 years. Nobody was writing me. I never got one letter. I never got one single letter. Not from my mom, not from my dad, not from my cousins, not from my homies, nothing. So it's just like, when you really think about that, after everything I did for this section and everything I did for this so-called hood, it's just like, you get to realizing like who your loved ones is. Keep it real. Right here in front of Jimmy's, the hood store, it's where, I'm gonna be honest, even to this day, this where all the OGs be at, all the thugs be at. I'm gonna keep it real, they be posted up right here. I ain't really been over here in a minute, to keep it real, but this is why I used to go every single morning. We would go in here for the chicken strips every time. We would go in here for the chicken strips every single time. This really, the section right here is crazy because it's like everything done changed, like in every way. Keep it real. Just looking around and walking around this motherfucker make me realize like, whew, I really didn't have it good. So question, how was it like growing up in the Heights for y'all?
I didn't grow up in the Heights. I grew up over there. Be safe, you're gonna be safe, bro. South. You can't do dumb shit, you feel me?
You from out here?
Yeah.
Okay, what street you grew up on?
Right there by Norteno.
Oh, my mama. Yeah. You got any family members that's died just trying to gangbang and live this life?
No, my family. Yeah, but none of my family died. They became gangbanging though.
Okay, you think it's dangerous or you say it's not dangerous?
No, it's really dangerous.
You think it's a lot of people that died trying to do something in this area?
Yeah, but it's all about being smart. You can't be doing dumb shit, you feel me?
For sure, for sure. All right, it's nice meeting y'all.
For sure, you too, brother.
Yeah.
And you just got out of prison. Since you did your time, can you tell us what you went down for?
I went down for murder at the age of 13.
Catching a murder at 13, what makes someone develop a mindset to do that at such a young age?
Well, like I said, I grew up in this neighborhood, and when I grew up in this neighborhood, I was surrounded by my family members and other people that were surrounding me around nothing but guns, drugs, and violence. So seeing that my whole life and watching that as a kid, you kind of just go with what you see. So as a kid growing up, that's all I had seen. So it was like I kind of was bred into this, like seeing what my real name is and seeing what my family history is. If you look into our background, it's kind of like, it was like I really didn't have no other choice. It was like, I'm not gonna say I didn't have a choice, but it was just like the only thing I seen as a kid. So as a kid, you go with what you see your big brothers doing, and you see your uncles doing, and you see your dads doing. And all my uncles, dads, and brothers, all they was doing was shooting people and gangbanging. So I kind of just, it was like they left these horse footprints, and I just followed them. They was hella big, so I just followed in their steps.
So your dad named you Norteno because he was a homie too?
Yeah, my dad named me a Norteno because he was a homie. Him and my mom, they grew up like that.
At 13, take us back to the day where you got picked up. How did you get arrested?
So I could, in my case closed, so I could take you through my whole story. So I'm at my friend's house. It's one of my homies. I ain't gonna lie, even as kids, we got into it a little bit, and we had our little issues, but we used to do shit together. We used to make money together and do shit together. So I pulled up to his house. I had like 4 bands on me, had my chains on this shit, but mind you, all my chains was from my past family members and chains that meant a lot to me. So when I pulled up on him, we were just smoking and chilling. I just happened to pull my phone out. And you know how when you go to pull your phone out, your money fall out your pocket sometimes? Well, I had it in a rubber band, so it just fell out my pocket. He seen that. He started acting funny after that. So I put my money back in my pocket. I didn't think none of it, but I never announced that I had a gun on me. Sometimes I just don't. I'm so used to having one on me that I didn't even announce that I had it to him, you feel me, on some regular shit, because it's like, I just assumed that he would know. But he didn't know I had a gun on me. He ended up pulling out on me. It just went from there. It turned a left turn. I wasn't giving nothing up. And so I just, for me, I took the opportunity. I got up, and I'm just like this, and I kind of just pulled it out. Shot 3 times. I could have beat my case. That's the crazy part. When I shot him 3 times, I left the room. I went into his other room, started rifling through his, grabbing hella. I came back, and I shot him 7 more times. I was just like, you try to rob me? Like, so I shot him 7 more times. It was 10 total shell casings on the scene, and I got up out of there. When I went to court, the DA tried to say I shot him with military accuracy, but it's like, I'm like this far from bro. He like right here, so it's like, I would be a blade if I missed him. Like.
And at the time, this was your friend?
At the time, it was like, yeah, it was my homie. He was trying to backdoor me type. That's why you gotta watch out who you trust, because your closest friends will really be the ones that try to backdoor you.
After this all went down, how did you end up getting arrested?
I went to my homie house like a mile away, because my bitch was the one that had dropped me off, and she was on some weird shit. She's like, I'm already left, whoop to whoop. You always do hella crazy shit. Like, I'm not gonna keep pulling up to come and get you after you shoot people. So she always just like, you didn't. So I'm gonna have someone else come get me. I'm gonna go to my friend's house real quick. So I went to my friend's house. It was like a mile away. When I got there, my phone was dead and my homie phone was dead, and I didn't want to ask his mom for nothing because his mom be tripping sometimes. So I was just like, yeah. So I went to the neighbor and I knocked on the neighbor door. And when I knocked on the neighbor door, she like, oh yeah, you can use my phone, what you wop. As I went to grab her phone, I let go of my pants. I didn't have no belt on, so my slap fell down my whole pants. My slap hit the floor and she looked at it, but she didn't even say nothing. So I just kept going my conversation. I put it back on. But as I walked away, she called the cops on me. When I walked in the house, they surrounded the house. They was like, yeah, put your hands out, come out with your hands on. They had the house surrounded, so I tried to throw the motherfucking pole in the trash can and hop out the side window and come through the side and sneak out. They was on it, they grabbed me.
And then from there, you got put in the juvenile hall?
Yeah, I went to juvenile hall. I went to Kiefer. I was fighting my case for Kiefer, but mind you, like, the first 3 months of my jail time was probably the hardest time of my life. 2 of my closest loved ones passed away. Gotti passed away, my brother. And then just people kept dying on me left and right. So I was just going through, I was fighting my murder case, my best friends, the niggas I grew up with my whole life, the people I grew up with my whole life, dying on me. And so it was just back to back, just hella casualties or hella little hurt and hella little pain. And on top of that, nobody was trying to reach out to my family. Nobody was trying to contact me. No one was saying nothing. It was free no-no, but it was like a post, or it wasn't, let's see what no-no doing. Let's see if no-no need money on his books. Let's see if no-no need this. So I kind of opened my eyes to who's really your homie and who's really not your homie.
And getting sentenced, what was the time they were talking about at first?
Well, when I first got in there, I was 13. So in the state of California, at that time, it was 13 or younger, automatic juvenile life. They can't take you to adult court. They can't give you no more than for me, it was 10 years. It was till I was 23. So back then, you couldn't get no more than 10 years. It was till you were 23. That was the max out. So when I got into court, I was fighting my case for like 3-4 years. I just realized I wasn't gonna beat it. It wasn't looking good. So I pled guilty to drop my case down to a 2nd-degree murder, and they gave me juvenile life. So I got till I was 23, and they committed me to DJJ or YA, whatever you want to call it.
And from juvenile, did you spend all your time in juvenile hall, or where did you go from juvenile?
Nah, so I did those first 4 years in juvenile hall. From those first 4 years, after that, they sentenced me to DJJ. I got transferred from juvenile hall to DJJ. My first year in DJJ, it was just nothing. I'm gonna keep it real. That was crazy. First day in there, fought a crip. 2nd day, fought another person. 3rd day, fought an essay. 10th day, I was on for the next 7 days. They had me on like a BTP program where they had me isolated. But then they was like, all right, he just got here, so they threw me out there again. 10th day, it was a big riot, like 21 people. And it was just that, my whole stay in YA fighting. When I turned 18 on my 18th birthday, I caught a stab assault, so I got off on a guard. They picked up the case, so I ended up going to the county jail. In the county jail, they gave me 2 years with halftime and sent me to prison. I went to Delano for about a month, and then I got transferred. It was Salinas Valley State Prison, level 4. Yeah, I got transferred to Salinas Valley on a 270 yard, B yard.
And how long were you on the level 4 for?
I was on a level 4 for my whole 18th year, all the way to a little bit past my 19th year. So I was the youngest person on that yard. I was the only 18-year-old on that level 4 yard.
And what was the feeling like going into Salinas Valley State Prison?
It was just different. You could feel it in the vibes. Like there wasn't no little kid games like it was in YA. It wasn't people fighting over no little things. If it was something going on, either somebody was getting stabbed, somebody was dying, or somebody was getting hurt really bad, and it was serious. It wasn't no game. So I had to learn to grow up. But it also made me realize how much to value. What's up, my guy? Shit, chilling. Yeah. It just taught me life, the value of life, because OGs that I used to look up to as a kid were sitting me down like, look, you got another opportunity to come out here and actually go do something with your life. Don't throw it away. And these are people that are down for murders and killings, and they had honchos like top hats, people that I actually value their words, and they was telling me what it really was, and that they felt like they had wasted their life. So it made me realize, like, I used to really do shit with these people. Like, they used to be like, oh, little bro, you need a gun? Here. And now they telling me, like, we wish we would have guided you different. We wish you would have went down a different path. We wish we wouldn't have taught you all that. And made me look, and I'm like, this is the same shit I could end up right here, junkied out, no life, family don't care about me, all the streets. Once you hit the jail, it's a whole different life in there. All them people on the streets, they forget about you. So it just made me realize that the value of life really means something. Because these are people that did my crime, but instead of getting a little 7 years that I got, they was getting 50 years, death sentences. So it made me realize I was really getting a second chance.
Being on a level 4 prison, what's probably the craziest thing you've seen while down?
The craziest thing I seen, we was playing football on the yard, and we was just right there playing football. Nobody noticed anything. All of a sudden, as you see the 3 Southsiders start stabbing one of their peoples, and the cops are not noticing because they think they're playing football. Or they think due to all us wrestling and tussling around, and we was playing tackle football, the cops was just right there sitting there staring, thinking it was a regular day, so they wasn't really paying attention. By the time they realized, dude was dead. Dude had got stabbed like 100 times. Looking back now, being more older and mature, do you ever regret what you did to get that time in prison? I can't ever say I regret anything I ever did in my life, because if I try to change anything about my past, I would be changing me. So at the end of the day, if I went back and I changed that mistake, who would I be today? I'd be changing the man I am today, the man I became today. So nah, because that would be changing me. So I don't really have regrets. I'm not like other people. I don't look back and be like, damn, I wish I would have did this different. Damn, I would have wished I did. No, I take that and I just go forward and I move and I just put it into my future benefit. I just put it into my future. I'm like, okay, I made this mistake before. That taught me something. Now I'm going to go and do something better. Learning that and knowing that I made that mistake, I'm just not going to make it again, because fools make the mistake twice. I don't make the same mistake twice.
Right here, is there only Nortenos and Bloods in this neighborhood, in the Heights?
Yeah, it ain't nobody else. I'm going to keep it real. To be honest, this is really like a community where it's just Mexicans and blacks, just to be honest. It's just, and sometimes they be on whole different sides of the hood. Sometimes they be together. It just depends. It varies, just to keep it real. This is Grant High School, and this school means everything to this community. This school is where everybody from this hood wants to go to. Everybody knows everybody here. It's like a family. Like, you go to the games, you go to the Grant football games, and they all know each other out there. They're all family. They're all like this out there, because this school is like really what brings our hood together. That's another reason that motivated me to get into a college, and I'm in a 4-year university right now. So it's another reason why I motivated myself to go to school, because I want to show them at this school that we could all do this. Like, I came from a negative background. I murdered someone at the age of 13, and yeah, I'm out here going to college. I'm getting straight A's. I'm actually I got a super high GPA. So to show this school and to show these youth that I could do this and I could be out here and I could be successful, it means a lot to me knowing that.
You went down at 13. How old are you now?
I'm 20.
Did you ever end up going to high school?
Nah, I never got to go to a high school on the outs. I went to high school when I was locked up, but I graduated at 16 with like a 3.9 GPA though.
During that time, what do you feel like you missed most of your childhood?
Man, my little brother, he was this big when I got locked up. He like this big now, and when I walked up to him when I first got out, he looked at me, he like, who the fuck is you? Like, he was right here looking at me. Like, he didn't even know who his big brother was. So that really broke my heart, knowing that his whole life he never really got to see me. He never got to see me develop as a man. He never got to see me, and I never got to watch him grow up and develop as a man. I never got to see him go to his first school day. I never got to see none of that. So missing out on those opportunities to watch my family and watch them grow, that was probably the biggest loss for me, just to be so honest, because those were the people that held me down when I was in jail and was there for me. Those was the only people. Now we right here at Mama Mark's. We at the Hood Park. I ain't gonna lie, a lot didn't happen at this park. I got shot at this park when I was like 9 years old. I got shot in my leg right here. It was just a small little baby shot. It really healed up for the most part, but it was a little 38, but I was only a kid. I was just right here hooping with my homie Gotti, actually. I got grazed right here. Got grazed right here. My brother Gotti had tackled me, and I ended up it didn't end up puncturing nothing in here. It just grazed me right here, but that bullet probably would have hit me.
What happened? Was it a drive-by or?
Yeah, it was a drive-by. They started firing shots out the car, ended up hitting me on some flukes, on some lucky. They wasn't really trying to hit nobody. It was a baby's gun, but.
Was that the only time you've been shot?
Yeah, it's the only time I've been shot, but I've been shot at on multiple occasions. I done been in multiple shootouts. I done been at shootouts in this park right here. But we ain't really gonna get into that. That's you know how that go.
Since you did what you did, you caught a murder. Are people still looking for you because of that, or?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't say looking, because at the end of the day, I'm really not that hard to find. But it's for sure some tension. It's for sure some people that don't feel too good about it. But it's like, at the end of the day, I've broadcasted a couple times what I was doing with my life and where I'm going. And at the end of the day, it's been so long. I feel like it's past pain, but ain't nothing just left in the past. Somebody died. A child lost his high school, his prom, his college, his any chance at life. So I mean, if I was my brother, it would never be no rest until I got the motherfucker that did it. So I'm always on toes. I'm always on tip of my surroundings. This right here, the basketball hoop, it had got redid by the Kings. It was hella little purple and tiles on this motherfucker, but they had stripped them off. This is why I used to come hoop every day before school, every single time. This is where we was getting in hood fights right here. We was doing hella little shit right here. This was, Rajon Rondo came when they built this. It was like probably like 9 years ago, but they stripped all the tiles down. This bringing up deja vu right here when I used to really be right here.
And being white, growing up in this neighborhood around all blacks and Mexicans, what was it like for you?
I ain't gonna lie, my mom and him is crazy, so it was really my dad. I wouldn't even say my mom. My dad is really crazy. So what my dad did when we was like 5 is in our house, like all the kids in the neighborhood, they would gamble on us fighting. To teach me how to fight, he would do like gambling. So he would send us to go fight other people, and then him and the parents would bet on that. So they did like a gladiator school. So growing up as a kid, I had to fight a lot. So I just got used to it, and I got used to the fact that it's not even about if you win or you lose. Because I remember at one point in time, I was like this big, and I would lose hella fights. But I would still fight. I would keep fighting. I wouldn't care if I lost or not, because it wasn't the principle of winning or losing. It was just the principle of you trying to text my gangster, we gonna get that. There's nothing else to it. But nowadays, I ain't gonna lie, there's been a couple of situations where I try to get a motherfucker to fight me, and they like, I'm not finna fight you, I just kill you, I'm gonna shoot you. And it's over simple like, I'm like, hey, they don't be wanting to fight no more. So it's like, now you gotta get adjusted to this newer generation. You gotta get used to me, you gotta get used to having a gun, you gotta get used to certain things. And I had to adjust to this newer generation. They don't fight no more. So at the end of the day, life is on the line because they playing with guns now. A lot of them really don't want to do nothing though. A lot of them really don't want to shoot. A lot of them really don't want to fight. It's just how it is now. They soft now. It's just like, you catch someone without their gun nowadays, they the softest motherfucker alive. You catch someone with a gun, they Superman.
Looking back at your past, coming from a family of Nortenos, where you feel like you were forced into gangbanging?
Nah, because in all honesty, like, it was a mixture. Like, the Bloods took me in like I was a Blood. Nortes took me in like I was a Norte. It was just because they was my family. Don't get me wrong, those is my peoples. But they was never really around my whole life to guide me into their structure. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm part of their structure. I'm, at the end of the day, you feel me, I stand for what they stand for. But it's just like I never really was around them enough. Even me trying to get going on my music career, I've tapped in with a bunch of them. They don't normally answer. They don't really care about my story. At least that's how I feel. And hopefully after this video, a lot of them would tap in and be like, hey bro, what's up? What you trying to do? And try to support me. But growing up as a kid, they named me that. But then they all got locked up. So it was like they was never really there to show me what it meant to be that, or what it meant to be this and that. I never had that structure. I grew up around Bloods. In all honesty, like, they don't got no structure. You do whatever the f you want. So it was just me running around this motherfucker reckless with a gun in my hand, ready to shoot anybody.
Would you say you learned a lot as being a homie inside prison system?
Yeah, they taught me a lot. They taught me, and I'm not gonna lie, when I went in there, I was loud. I was just young-minded. I was so young-minded. And in there, especially, I'm gonna be honest, especially as a homie, you can't be like that. You can't go in there. You can't be loud. You can't be. They want you to be quiet. They want you to observe. They want you to learn. You feel me? They want to teach you how to be a man. They want you to grow the f up. And as a kid, I was still 18. I went down at 13 for murder, so I never got to really grow up. So they taught me how to grow up. They taught me how to be a man. And they took me in. I'm not gonna lie, they could have easily have been like you, like, nah, we don't want you, we don't want nothing to do with you. But nah, they took me in like they was my family. I'm gonna keep it real. But getting out, I never really got that acceptance, and I've been trying to reach out to some. I've been trying to reach out to people, but it's just a business, it's an industry.
After doing that time, did you get released on probation or parole, or did you get time served and completely free?
Nah, hell nah. They be holding 3 years over my head ever since I got out. I got out on ankle monitor. I got stipulations where I gotta get a certain grade average in school. I gotta follow certain guidelines. I gotta be back in the house at a certain time. I gotta go to court every month. They reevaluate whether or not they want me to stay free or not. They've been trying to lock me up the last couple months for little petty things. they don't really be liking to see me succeed and see me win, and knowing that I'm out here getting good grades in college, know I'm out here making money, know that I'm out here rocking the Cuban link and I'm shining on them and I'm still doing good. They don't like to see that, so they be trying to put little obstacles in my way to see me fail, but I really don't be tuning into it too much. That's just how the cops is. They never gonna want to see you win. They never gonna want to see you shine. So it is what it is. I just take it and go with it. Like this ankle monitor, it's pressure to it. Don't get me wrong. Knowing that the cops know where I'm at 24/7, knowing that I gotta move a certain way, knowing I gotta be a certain way. Motherfuckers like to try to take advantage of that and take my kindness for a weakness sometimes, but it don't really be working well for them.
Do you have a fear of going back to jail or prison?
I do, because of what I've been through, but at the same time, it comes with what it comes with. Like at the end of the day, being on probation and knowing some of this that I be doing sometimes, and knowing the predicaments I be putting myself in, sometimes I gotta accept the consequences as a man. So at the end of the day, I just go with the flow. I just go with what it is, and I try to succeed as much as I can, but at the same time, I gotta get money out here, and sometimes it ain't easy.
Would you say out here that you're still active, or did you take a step back from the streets since you got out?
Well, I ain't never gonna just say I'm not active. I'm gonna always be a part of my community. I'm always gonna be coming around. You see, like you seen at the beginning of the video, my uncle No Good came to show love. My brother B Money came to show love, and they really, you feel me? They older and they really be out here. And at the end of the day, they still love me for who I am, because you gotta understand, this motherfucker's out here lying every day about murders and lying every day about what they did and lying about what they got going on. So when they come around me and they know they lying in their head, how can they justify being like, hey, Wutub, don't you? Yeah, how can you justify saying anything to me? You can't, because if you try to call me out on anything, at the end of the day, you know you talking to somebody that really did what you never did. And that's half of these people out here. They really just be false claiming they never did. And I'm known for doing shit before what I did. I'm known for really doing shit for my hood, and known for really being a young kid around the hood, rocking around with shotguns in my pants and hella little shit. I don't really like to come off as that negative person no more, but at the end of the day, I am who I am. I ain't never gonna be no soft person. I ain't never gonna fold on my morals. I stand on what I stand on as a man, but I just try to do it in a more respectful, grown way. So as long as you leave me alone and let me get to my money, I'm gonna leave you alone and let you get to your money. You come bother me and you want smoke, you gonna get smoke at the end of the day, because I'm not turning nothing down.
What do you expect from yourself now that you're home?
Now that I'm home, I really just expect to succeed and get this money and get this bag, but at the same time, it's these obstacles in my way, and sometimes I slip up and I make mistakes, and they might grab me for a violation every here and there. They might try to lock me back up every here and there. That's just what comes to this, because I'm never just gonna be a perfect individual, and that's what they be expecting from us, getting out on probation, especially with my charge and knowing what I went to jail for. They really be on my, they be watching my grades, they be watching me, they be watching my movements, they be pulling up on me randomly, so I really just have to watch how I move. And even with some of my homies, I don't like going around, and they respect that too, but I still become, if it's nighttime, I pull up for a little bit, pop out, yep, boop. If it's events, I'll pop out, boop. But I like to distance myself, knowing that I'm on this ankle. I don't want to put nobody that I put in a predicament where my probation officer rock up and they like, no. So it's like, you feel me? I just make sure that I keep myself at a safe distance. I make sure that I be cautious of how I move, and I make sure that everybody around me is trying to, you feel me, do better. And I be putting all my people on with the music. I be supporting all my people, shouting them out, trying to do what I can. I be doing this little funny videos. I be doing this music shit, because it's about money now. I'm 20 years old, so we gotta really look at what our crimes do to us now. Because if I go rob somebody again because I'm down bad, that's gonna hit me 5-10 years off the rip, just because I got gun violence in my past. So do I really want to put myself in a predicament where I rob you for 10 measly bands that I could have made at a regular part-time job in 2-3 months? People don't be thinking, they don't be wanting to work 9 to 5s. I go work a 9 to 5. I'll go do the smart choice and go do that. But at the same time, I'm not soft. So if you come over here talking about some yeah, you feel me, you gonna get yeah. If not, it is what it is. You feel me? I'm gonna leave you alone to your business. And don't get me wrong, everybody got their moments. Everybody done been broke. Everybody done been down bad. But it's about how you handle yourself in those situations, how you prove to be true to yourself, how you prove to be true to your colors.